Today on the Travel Magazine, we will visit the Bodensee region of southern Germany, on the shores of Lake Constance. But first to Lausanne, a Swiss city with a French flavor. The Swiss city of Lausanne has a distinct French flair, offering high culture and world-famous restaurants. Hi, we are Miek and Jake de Boer, and welcome to this edition of the Travel Magazine. This magnificent city on Lake Geneva offers the sights and sounds of a vibrant city while managing to keep its charming old city ambience that is steeped deeply in its traditions.
Lausanne is first of all a Swiss city. If it has a little bit of a French touch about it, it's just because we are really surrounded by France. So we have maybe a lot to do with France. We hear the French radio, we travel to France a lot. We are Swiss, but maybe we are a little bit more French oriented because of our language. Town of Lausanne, we have especially the cathedral, which is cathedral of the 13th century. We have the old part of town, which is just behind the cathedral. We have the market steps, which lead from the cathedral down the hill towards the town hall. They were built for the people who were living on the hill behind the cathedral to go down to the market, because the artisans and the shopkeepers and so on had settled at the time at the foot of the hill along the river. The market in Lausanne is on twice a week, on Wednesday mornings and Saturday mornings. And we have it every week of the year. And it's more interesting maybe on Saturday mornings because there are more people. It's very lively because we have also street musicians. They come and play. They can also be little bands sometimes. And that makes it colorful and maybe sometimes a little noisy, but that's life. The rest of the market, the fruit, the flowers and the vegetables are spread out, all the little stalls are spread out in the old part of town. And during the market, people come to the market of course, to buy the vegetables, but also very often hoping to meet somebody and sit in one of the many cafes we have along the road and have a cup of coffee or a drink.
Lausanne is not only the headquarters of the International Olympic Committee, but also home to the new Olympic Museum.
The Olympic Museum is very important for the Olympic movement. This is the only place where you can really feel the ambience of the Olympics, a part of the Olympic Games itself. The Baron de Coubertin came here in 1915 to protect the archive, the IOC archives during the First World War. And he found the place so interesting, so attractive that he stayed. They will see a lot of things. They will see, first of all, images, a lot of images. They will see momentums, a lot of video, statues, sculptures, etc. Everything related to the Olympics, history, ancient to modern times, and also about the Games.
Ouchy is a suburb of Lausanne. It's the suburb of Lausanne along the lake. Lausanne is really built on hills, rather higher than, of course, the lake level.
The promenade area, situated at the foot of Lausanne, offers a more relaxed atmosphere to Lausanne's vibrant city pace. A few minutes outside Lausanne, in the town of Crichier, is the home of one of the most famous chefs in the world.
Freddy Girardet, he was named the chef of the century. I think it's something, he has a feeling for cooking and for wines, and which is unique, and we're very proud to have him and very proud to think that he is Vaudois.
Donc on peut préciser ceci, c'est qu'en 1976, j'ai reçu la clé d'or.
In 1976, I won the Clé d'Or, and it was, of course, very important for me, and I was very surprised that the guides were sort of accepting the Swiss cooking and are adding Swiss restaurants in the book. I was proclaimed Cook of the Century in 1990 with Joël Robichaud and Paul Bocuse, two other French chefs, and I was very surprised that the three of us could be proclaimed Cooks of the Century.
Évidemment que c'est une grande chose dans ma carrière. Le cuisinier
For a chef to create a dish, it's a personal thing. But to realize this creation, you need help. It's a little bit like an orchestra. You have a chief, you have soloists, the musicians. You can really compare cooking to an orchestra.
Les musiciens, on peut comparer beaucoup la cuisine à un grand orchestre.
It's absolutely unique dining at this place. It's a little bit, I would consider it like going to a very nice opera.
Spring comes early to Lake Constance, and evidence of blossoming fruit trees and exotic plants has earned this region the nickname German Riviera. Today we'll visit one of the most picturesque regions where the borders of three countries meet, giving Lake Constance a truly Mediterranean charm. Lindau wakes up like any other small Bavarian town. From its beautiful architecture to its quaint cobblestone streets, it is a vivid reminder of its rich German past.
It's very, very interesting. It's also very unique because you're in a very traditional town, very old. People here are very proud, and you feel like you have a history living here because it is such an old town. There's so much history here. It's really hard to describe. You have to see it and live it. Otherwise, you can't really understand.
By midday, Lindau comes to life. Its beautiful waterfront location and Riviera-like atmosphere make it a popular attraction for all visitors.
Well, this time of the year, of course, and it's summertime, you have excellent weather, you have perfect climate, so many visitors here. We get international tourists from America, from Canada, of course, and of course Japan. We get Germans who just come here for a weekend, and you have everyone coming, from just the regular German person to some statesmen coming to see the city of Lindau and see the boats, go out sailing, swimming, and hiking mostly. But then there are many people who just come here for the weekend, for a leisurely stroll along the waterfront, to enjoy the scenery and have a coffee on one of the nice restaurants. There's almost everything you can imagine that is fun to do in the city of Lindau.
A wide variety of local entertainers add to the flavor of the boardwalk. From sidewalk artists, theater and street musicians, Lindau can satisfy even the most discriminating of tastes.
The sidewalk cafes, most of them belong to some of these hotels, and they're always busy. And people just love sitting here, enjoying the view, having their coffee and ice cream.
We'll be back with more of Lake Constance, or Bodensee, as they say in Germany, right after this. So stay with us. There are many small towns situated on Lake Constance, and the most accessible way to get from one town to another is by ferry.
On the Lake Constance we have 40 ferries from Germany, Austria and Switzerland, and we have connections from Lindau to Bregenz, to Romanshorn, to Konstanz, to Überlingen, and thousands of people go every day with our ferries between the lake. A very beautiful town is Meersburg.
Meersburg means the castle on the lake. Meersburg is a city with all the charm, with the old buildings, small tucked away restaurants, you'll have to look for them and find them, with the old castle, one of the oldest castles in Germany.
From the old castle to the Grand Palace, Meersburg is an adventurer's delight.
As you walk through, you'll see that Meersburg was built, and those buildings that you see 400 or 500 years ago, some are even a bit older, and it was mainly these half-timbered houses. Some of them are plastered over. Since then, they've taken it off, the plaster, and as you can see the beauty of these places today. And a lot of the restaurants, as you can see, the Löwen, the Bären, Winzerstube zum Becher. People will come there, enjoy a good glass of Meersburg wine, the vineyards all around, enjoy good food of this area of southern Germany. Again, people want to relax, enjoy life. It's mainly the public transport, the big boats that people will go on, especially as we have the three countries again. You'll go from here over to Switzerland on a boat, maybe the Swiss boat, maybe the Austrian boat. And people will enjoy that. It's kind of a lake of leisure. That's what people come for, that's what they want to enjoy. It's called the Flower Island, the island of Mainau. A lot of people visit it. Beautiful flowers. During the summer, you will have tulips, you will have roses, and it actually all belongs to a Swedish count and his wife. It's got that old Baroque church. Interestingly enough about that church, it was all plastered up. So they carefully scraped off the walls, and there was this beautiful church with the wonderful pictures. Millions of people, practically nearly 2 million people visit it every year. And it's a sort of center of Lake Constance. I would say we have about 1.5 million visitors who stay here during the year. They all will go to the island of Mainau once. But we also have a lot of people who come just to see island of Mainau. They come from the Black Forest, they come from Switzerland, they come from Austria, they come from Bavaria, from all around just to see island of Mainau.
Our last stop is the charming city of Constance.
Constance is the biggest city. It is an international city, just borders on Switzerland. It's a nice city with a harbor, the old places where it's an old bishop city. It's a lot of sailing. People love their sailboats. Then you can have these big pleasure boats. Go on a day's outing. That's what people come for.
It is not hard to imagine why locals and visitors alike find Lake Constance one of the most beautiful areas in all Germany. Well, that's it for this edition of the Travel Magazine. From Lake Constance in Germany, I'm Jake de Boer. Bye for now.